Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday afternoon. I hope you're okay. I hope you're right. I hope the day is treating you well, no matter what it is that you're doing today. And if you're in it, it's most likely very, very wet. And yeah, not much fun because of it. Yes, in this video, though, we're talking about somewhat breaking news you could probably go with surrounding Spurs' interest in Joao Gomes, or lack thereof interest in Joao Gomes. We'll be talking about the offers that have come in for Manor Solomon to take on loan. An academy player that's left. We're going to be talking about quite a few things. You'll see it when I get to it. I never know why I label everything because I don't always remember any of it. But yeah, just want to say that if you're watching this and you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. So it's a pretty good one at the moment. We're booming. We're booming. There's a lot of new faces in here. So if you are new, you're still welcome for the journey. If you're one of the oldies, the OGs of the chat, legends anyway. Morning, well, technically now afternoon, Spurs, mate. Afternoon, Dan, Robert, how are we, mate? You're right. Hi, Glenn. I'm good. How are you? Tom, I'm good. How are yourself, mate? You're right. So yeah, let's jump in. Let's talk some stuff before I keep getting weird notifications from Uber. I don't know why. Afternoon, Sonia. How are you? So let's jump in and let's start with Manor Solomon. Okay, so pardon me. Paul O'Keefe saying that Manor Solomon has an offer from Spain alongside interest from Leeds United and other English clubs. There is also other interest abroad. The player would prefer to stay in England. So, obviously, if you don't know who Leeds United are, which I'd be shocked if you didn't, Leeds United obviously in the league below in the Championship. They were very, very close to coming up last season. They're in the playoff final and lost to Southampton, obviously came up instead of them. It wouldn't shock me if teams that have just recently come up being teams of interest in him. You know, what about like a Southampton? Maybe I could see that. Leicester, I could potentially see that. Your Brentfords and so on and so forth. I think there's plenty of interest in the Premier League. I don't see this one being a deal that will drag on in terms of difficulty of moving him on. But in my eyes, I really don't know where he'll go. But you know, if he still doesn't want to be in England, if he does want to be in England, we know about multiple clubs being of interest. The team in Spain we're led to believe is Getafe. So there you have it. Hey K32 mate, how are we? I see Ben Chilwell's available. Surely good option for Spurs. Can't stay fit and can't defend. It's not for me, thanks. Plus he's expensive. He's on like 200 grand a week. Hey D-Gab mate, Azza, how are we? We got to get Bradley Locko. Well, someone told me he's done his Achilles. So hey Oscar, you right? Venturous, how are we, mate? I can't see us not struggling against low block Everton on Saturday with 2 games last year. Well, the 2 tough games last year, to be fair, context in there, how fit was the squad? Raheem Sterling also available, would be excellent for us and could play up front as well. 325 grand a week on a 3-year deal. Probably going to need to spend 40, 50 million to buy him. Hasn't been that great since the home Euros in 2021. So for me, not for me personally. Now, had it been a lot cheaper, maybe, but he's also 29. You know, what you see is what you get. He's not going to get any better. Even Michael Howie, everyone seems to forget our highest wage paid player right now is Son on 190 grand a week. Yeah, you're not going to come in and bring Son in above him, would you? You know. Morning, Kieran. Afternoon, Kieran. How are we, mate? Would us getting Sancho be a good buy? Personally, no. That guy's on the similar wage to Sterling, so. Yeah, buying off of those teams, you're going to have to ask them to pay, 2/3, 3/4 of their wages, which they don't want to do. They want to get off those wages, Hence why Saudi is an escape for a lot of teams. So with that, well, I'm going to come to it in a minute, Tom. Going to come to it in a minute. So yeah, there's that on Manor Solomon. Again, when you think about it, Manor Solomon still needs to leave. Regulon still needs to leave. And Lo Celso still needs to leave. So still plenty of work on departures right now. Talking about the player that is the academy youth player that is leaving, Jude Soon-Sup-Bell. He's set to join Cordoba on a permanent deal. He opted for a move overseas rather than the English leagues. No fee, but Spurs will get 40% of any future sale. It's one of those that, I think being as behind, not behind in a bad way, but you think of the strikers Spurs have got, the youth strikers. He was probably 4th or 5th in that line. You wouldn't have really seen him play for Spurs. So moving him on, not in the world. Good move for him. Move abroad. Better weather because it's raining today. It's miserable. I think it's a good move for him, all things considered, if I'm honest. So there you have it. Well, yeah, Boris, we'll talk about the 6th position in a sec. Come to it in a sec. Don't worry. We'll get there. Talking, actually, I don't have it on my screen, but I know who put it out. Again, we always talk about even the players that we don't technically own, but have release clauses or sell-on clauses on them and things like that, obviously making a part towards, financial fair play, money's being spent in the summer. Just want to get it up so I can I can show you. Apparently Juventus want Sterling. And Fulham want Rayan Cherki. Ooh, interesting. Just clock that. Barca want Chiesa. Well, I did have it. So 1 second. This is so unprofessional of me. But I wanted to bring up some updates. So, supposedly according to the Times and Sunderland Echo, Ipswich Town have made a £15 million bid for Jack Clarke. Now, Spurs obviously have a 30% sell-on Jack Clarke. So you're talking about £4.5 million on a bid like that. 1.5 times by 3. That's how you work it out. So, again, another little bit of money to add to the coffers of the summer window. Ability to spend more, baby. Obviously, we talked about Marcus Edwards and Palace's interest. That will play a part as well. So plenty in there for those ones to hold on to. He's 21, someone ahead of him, like Lancashire, who's 19, and right now, 3rd choice striker for the first team. I don't see Jude battling him at all. Yeah. It's a difficult one because, you got Valise, you got Scarlett, you got Lancashire. They're all ahead of him. They're all around similar sort of wages, not wages, ages. So, from normal human being, it doesn't make much of a difference of making 120 versus 250 grand a week. You still have lobster and champagne. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not much when you're on a normal wage, but people just going, just pay the money. It's like, well, that's not the right thing to do. It's also not the smartest thing to do. You don't upset the apple cart of your current squad by bringing in someone who's, let's be real, on not far off double what Heung-Min Son is, and is nowhere near the player Heung-Min Son is. On, over double what a Romero is, and Romero's a top player. So it really, for me, I would actually be really annoyed if someone came in being paid 300 grand a week and they're not as good as they used to be. They're over the hill a little bit. Like Ben Chilwell's on 200 grand a week. So Ben Chilwell's been paid more than Heung-Min Son. That's already a red flag enough as it is. That's the fact that I don't rate him as a player doesn't even come into it. But if it did, it's more disrespect, if anything, if someone comes in and gets paid more than the most loyal player to the club since Kane left. Well, look, if someone's come in and he's, one of the top 10 players in the world, then I think people would understand it. But we are talking about players that have not been good for a little while now for their own clubs. And we would be helping a team getting off their wages because they got themselves into a hole. I mean, 3 years left on 325 grand a week for Raheem Sterling is absolute joke of a deal. He's kicking back. He's going to have it easy. 1.3 million a month he earns. You know what I mean? Hey, hello, Andy, everyone. Sorry I'm late. It's all right, Les. How are you, mate? You're right. So, moving on. Because a lot of you have wanting to talk about it. You keep jumping the gun. We'll talk about other stories. And apparently Solomon has 2 Premier League clubs that are interested in him, plus Italy and German clubs. But he wants to stay in England. So there you go. But sorry. Anyway, coming back to the 6 role. So, according from Paul O'Keefe, saying that number 6 is no longer a priority for Tottenham this summer. They do not believe they can get one this window, but haven't ruled out something else yet. Spurs are not in for Joao Gomes. So we've been talking about Joao Gomes a little bit. Spurs supposedly aren't in for Joao Gomes. And I kind of think the deal for Joao Gomes would be a difficult one. Just obviously Wolves moving off of Neto, moving off of Kilman, you moving off of Gomez. That's kind of the spine of your team that you're letting go. I can see why they'd want to keep him. No issues with that. Spurs not being in for a 6. I'm going to come to that in just a second. But Spurs not being in for a 6, but maybe in for something else. What that something else is between an 8 and a 10, maybe. It depends on how they see Bergvall. I think Bergvall and Kulu could play the 10. So how do they see the 8 role? And I think the 8 role, they want someone with energy. Look, we've been linked with Gallagher, we linked with Ramsey, but I think they want someone similar to that mold in the 8 role. And look. I think the Spurs fan base were like, we need a 6. We need a 6. We're not the coaches. We're not seeing these boys every day. We don't know truly what we need. It's just what we think we need. These guys train them every day. So we have to back what they say. We have to. Afternoon, Daniel. Afternoon, Tony. How are we? I see us going for another left back, considering more depth now if we ain't going in for a number 6 for the time being. Well, look, I'm hoping we're going for a left back. I do. I've always been really on the hype train of Patrick Dorgu from Lecce. But again, if they were to go elsewhere, I can't lie. As much, do you know what? This is a really funny thing I think Spurs fans somewhat struggle with. I watched the Newcastle Southampton game. I watched it all, actually. So I watched it before the red card. I watched it after the red card. And for the first half, Kyle Walker-Peters played on the left-hand side. He played left back. But in their system, they allow him to float into midfield. And he was the best player on the pitch by a good country mile, right? And the second half, they moved him to right back and he wasn't as effective. Had that been Bradley Locker, Patrick Dorgu, I guarantee people would go, I tell you what, he's a player and a half. But because it's Kyle Walker-Peters and he's not got that sexy name and people have already had him at the club, they're like, I don't want him. He's serviceable. He's usable. If you can get a decent deal, I would do it. But if I had to go out and out, what I want, it is Patrick Dorgu. That's the one that I truly want. But if they were to wind up with a different player, I'll back it all the same. That's how I've always looked at it. Gray could be the 6 and Bentancur too. Well, you still got loads of midfield options. You still got Sarr, Bissouma, Maddison. That was the main 3 from last year. You've got Bentancur, you've got Bergvall, you've got Gray. Technically, Alfie Devine's still at the club. What happens with Lo Celso? Kulusevski can play centrally. So, Odobert can play centrally. So there's a lot still there, Amadou Onana would have been great 6 for us, but we missed out on him. I wouldn't have minded Onana, but I don't hate it personally. I don't hate them not going for him, even Andy, although I'm late, I finally caught live. That's all right, Persify. How are you, mate? Cole Walker-Peters has been good last few seasons, and the quote is we might just have to do it. Well, look, the academy train thing is a little bonus. Agreed. It's a little bonus. The ability to play left and right back also helps. He's good on the ball. Yes, he maybe isn't the best option we've been attached to, but we've been attached to a lot worse. I don't want to sell Daddy Davies, for goodness sake. Well, he's getting, at the game on Saturday, he's getting given a gift of sorts for 10 years at the club. Any good update on Bentancur injury? Not right now. We're waiting for Ange's press conference tomorrow, Chris, to talk about that. When we do our preview tomorrow, we'll be talking about Ange and what he said. All right. Edison Vassalante will be a great energetic move for us. Yeah, we won't be going for Edison. Not when they've sold Coop Miners. You want to talk about a team that doesn't need to sell, it'd be them. Plus, they're going to sell Lookman to PSG potentially. They have absolutely zero interest in selling Edison as well. Davies going to get sold. Let me say this is now earning his coaching license, what the club has been paying for. Well, let me just double check this. Well, he's got a contract till next summer. They're talking about maybe extending it. I don't know, but he's got a contract till next summer. So if they don't, he's gone next summer. Alfie Doughty. Yeah, a lot of people said that. I don't hate it personally. Is it too early to be nervous about the season? Yes, it is, mate. Obviously, you're allowed to be nervous. You're entitled to your own opinion. But if we're thinking logically, 1 game in, I've seen the amount of people saying right off the season we're going to do nothing, even though we're in 4 competitions in theory, which is too extreme to say. We've also still got a good chunk of the window still left to see. I guarantee if Spurs brought in a really world-class player, everyone who said that would turn themselves around. You know what I mean? So what I would say is get past the weekend, get the window out of the way, have a look at the window, see what you liked, see what you didn't like about the window, see what makes you maybe scared about the team, see what makes you doesn't scared about the team. And the idea is, it's so early in the season. Let's try and remain positive for now. Now, look, don't worry. If we lose 5 in a row, then hell yeah, I mean, we'd all be concerned. But it's one game. And honestly, had that game gone a different way, I think 9 times out of 10, Spurs going into the half 2 or 3-0 up, and we're cruising. You know. What about Hayden Hackney? Talked about him yesterday. Adventurous. Talked about him yesterday. The only thing I said was, is he a big upgrade on like an Alfie Devine? If not, just keep Alfie. I feel they'll extend it for him to move into the coaching staff. Who knows? Who knows indeed? Alfie Davis. I don't think his name's Alfie Davis. Leaf Davis. Leaf. Close enough. Solid, but did switch off for the Salah goal massively. I'm still thinking Hermoso. Yeah, I don't. That's just. I think the whole Hermoso news, not just us, by the way, the whole Hermoso news is just dried up completely. You know. Are you happy with the transfer so far? What can we do better? Well, Anthony, in terms of outgoings, very happy. Still a little bit more to do, but very happy so far on the outgoings. On the incomings, look, we got a number 9 that we needed. We bought, in theory, Bergvall counts as this summer. I know it's not in theory because it was a January thing, but it counts to us this summer because he signed his contract after he turned 18. He's been very, very good. Obviously, Archie Gray is a very exciting player as well. And they're ready to go Premier League players now. And I think a lot of people go, we've done nothing to improve the starting 11. Yeah, but the reason we fell off last year wasn't the starting 11. The reason we fell off last year was the lack of depth and rotation. Now we have that. We're all good. Well, not all good, but we have a lot more of it. We'll be better for it. You know, there's still work to do. There still needs a centre back, still need left back. They talked about a bit of backup goalkeeper. We'll see on that front. Midfielder would be nice. Wingers, I want to talk about Odobert in a second, but, you know, we'll see what happens. It's one game in. I think people were too over the top with the left wing position with Sonny. And yeah, I think we'll still be fine. I still think we'll get top 4. But I think the window so far has been all in all good. Could do with a little bit more, though, you know? We beat Manchester United 2-0 second game of the season last season, yeah. After drawing our first game away from home to a team that was further down in the league. You know what I mean? It's, you know, I guarantee if we, after 10 games, top of the league again, people will forget about Leicester. Because people forgot about Brentford, shockingly. You know, I tell you, if we even win the next 3 in a row, everyone will forget about Leicester. Hell, if we beat them, we go to Newcastle and get a draw, people forget about Leicester. Absolutely. Do you know what? People forget about Leicester after just beating Everton. Tottenham is so strange. We play well against hard teams and play silly ball against worse teams. Leaf Davis is fast. Yeah, he was decent. But, you know, I can't be switching off when Trent has that ball, you know? Hey, Donny, you're right. I think they should scrap the international break after it's annoying, isn't it, Tom? You're getting going for the season. There's a bloody international break that comes straight in at the start. I'll be on the train, Donna. Hey, Joshua, mate, you're right. What is the chance of us getting a left centre-back, Andy? Well, look, they want a defender. They do want a defender. Now, I'm obviously sitting here and hopeful that that defender that they're looking for is a player that either can play left centre-back or left back or can at least feature in one of those positions. For me, for me, it doesn't need to be a right back. We link with Van der Sar and things like that. We don't need Van der Sar. I mean, look, if they go, actually, we're not going to sign a new midfielder, but we're going to buy a left back and centre back. I would love that. I'd much prefer that over another midfielder and defender. Just give me those 2 positions, and then my back line is sorted. I've got the main 4 rotation pieces. I'm happy as Larry. Adam Wharton wouldn't be a bad signing. We're not signing him now. We had our chance, but we're not doing it now. Pierre Hincapi. Yeah. I like Hincapi. I actually talked about Hincapi. One of the first videos I ever did on this channel. Well, not one of the first, but one of the earlier videos I did on this channel was at the time that we were linked to him, Evan Ndicka, and Clement Longley. And I wonder which one we ended up with. And I said Longley on the ball is probably better than both. Ndicka, I think, is probably the best out-and-out defender. Hincapi's the mixture between the 2. We need a left-footed right winger more than a 6. Well, I'm coming to the right winger position, Ezekiel, because I can guarantee you'll be a little bit happier about it. How many top seasons does Son have left at the top? I think at least 2. Yeah, I'd say so. Don't know. It's not a Spurs game that I'm going to. I'm going to AEW. More importantly, what chances are you making for this weekend in the FBL? Oh, I tell you what, Dean Gibb, I might have to come and get you to set up a YouTube channel because you killed it last week in the FBL. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I think looking at it, I might trade out Saliba because they got Villa away, Arsenal. I might trade out Saliba and bring in Gavardio from City. Maybe I'll do that because I think City have got Ipswich at home, so I might do that. Prediction after the first 10 games, how many points? Oh, geez, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Without looking at the fixtures, I really don't know. Why don't I say 2 points a game? After 10 games, 20 points. How about that? I just really don't know without looking at fixtures. Where do you think Dorrington fits in? Do you know what? He just needs to get fit. He's missed a lot of time through injury, so I really don't know at the moment. Apparently, Odobert has been training as a right wing. Yes, come to that now. Odebert's been playing right wing in training, and he has been shredding it. He's been very, very good in the training so far. They're very, very happy with him. Yeah, Ashley Phillips didn't play in the under-21s yesterday, apparently. Interesting. But yeah, by the looks of things, he'll be a right winger going forward this season, which I think will allow Kulusevski to move more centrally, hence why they don't want to get another midfielder. Or if they do, it's going to be a different style. I think that's why. But Odobert looked very lively. He waltzed past Archie Gray. And yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. So I'm just taking my headphones off charge. Yeah, definitely keep an eye on because I think Odobert is going to be starting games this season. What's happening with Rafinha? Because I think Barca said Gundogan wasn't enough to get Olmo in. Yeah, to register Olmo hasn't done enough. But obviously they moved off Sergio Roberto as well. I think, well, supposedly they're interested in Chiesa. Supposedly. I don't know. I think Rafinha's there now. We'll finish lower than last year and won't win a trophy. Well, hopefully not, Roman, mate. I'm not saying you couldn't turn up there, but I'm just saying that's what I'm going to. Going to the wrestling. I think he starts against Everton. I don't. I think he starts. On the bench, and I think Kulu starts at the wing position, personally. Afternoon, guys. Very disappointed in the Gomes news. We can't get everyone, can we? Francisco Conceição be a great for us right winger. Well, there was talks about him moving to Everton, but we're not going for a winger now. With Odobert, we finally have a winger who will take on fullbacks and beat them. Son, Werner, Madders, Kulu, Odobert, Johnson. Yeah, better depth than last year for sure. You'll think Kulu's going to be able to play more games than Lo Celso. Odobert looks very exciting. And you still got Mikey Moore to put in all that as well. Obviously, he was very good for the under-21s. But coming back to the midfield situation, Jack Pitbrook, the Athletic, saying that Archie Gray and Bergvall have impressed so much in training and pre-season friendlies that Tottenham no longer considering signing a new all-action midfielder as a priority. That, I'm sorry, I know a lot of you will go, no, I want a new number 6. I want Rodri. I want this. I want that. If we're honest, is that not great news? Is that not a situation where we go, great, these two guys that have come in, they're young, but they've wowed everyone so much, they actually trust them to play them. We saw Bergvall I thought Bergvall in the short stint and Archie Gray in the short stint against Leicester looked really solid. I loved what I saw. And if the coaches are really happy with them, that's actually really good news. And if it means, cool, we're not going to spend money in the midfield this summer, maybe next summer, if we look to replace, a Bissouma, for example, if he was to move on, right, we're going to go get 2 defenders. That I would much prefer. These 2 guys are coming, shown off to be really good. Go and get me 2 defenders. Play Alfie Devine in Skippy's minutes. I'm sorted personally. TNA, NXT, better than AEW. That's a les, mate. That's because you like Joe Hendry. That's why, mate. If you know, you know. Very good news means they're ahead of schedule. Agreed. Arnie Kulu start on the right. Basuma back. Only question is Porro's fitness after ankle. Do you have any updates? No updates on at the moment. I think Cozy, we're going to wait till Ange's press conference tomorrow. And in my preview of the game, I'll be talking about it. But yeah, I think Kulu's going to be back on the right wing. I think Basuma, we'll see on if he's going to start or not. I could see Archie Gray starting at the 6. I could. But I think Basuma will be back in the squad. But that's just my guess. They seem like they both have elite mentality too. You know what I did notice is when they were getting subbed on, and Archie Gray's like, "Can I go on? Because my replacement, the concussion sub, was Benticon. He's sort of gone off, but and Bergval's gone subbed on, and Bergval comes on and it's like, come on," and Archie's like, "Oh, all right, I'll follow you." Got a good little friendship, those two. That I felt Skip was underrated. He works hard. Look, we liked Skippy, but Skippy was never what we truly needed. He was a good piece, but never truly what we needed. Don't think Ange will let this start straight away. Maybe not Finlay, but then you'd have to say then Archie Gray will be starting, which I again have no issues with personally. Archie Gray Stadium also right back Spence. Oh, sorry, Tom. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, the right back situation. Obviously, you got Porro, you got Spence, you got Gray. We're sorted out there. You know, you do indeed believe in Joe Henry. Well, he's not going to beat Ethan Page for the title. I can promise you that. But within the next year, when his contract expires, he'll be WWE bound. But yeah, I'm looking forward to AEW, Les. It's going to be good, mate. They announced another match for its 10 matches on the card. I'm going to be asleep halfway through. I'm going to be like, oh my God, this is taking forever. Like WWE pay-per-views, there's five matches. They're no longer than 3 hours total long. This thing's going to go on for like 5 hours. I'm going to be shattered. You love Joe Henry. We all love Joe Henry. Hoping this will be a breakout game for Archie Gray. Well, to be fair, one thing I would say is it's only his second game. It's only his second game. And this, by the way, he didn't get time for Leeds when they're in the Premier League. So as long as we keep our expectations at a solid level, nothing too high. We're not expecting him to be, you know, prime Claude Makelele. As long as we're like, look, he's 18 or he's 19, sorry. Give him a chance. Let him blend in. He's going to make mistakes. And you know what Spurs fans are like? If a player makes mistakes, they need to be lynched. They need to be taken off the earth. Just give him some time, you know? I feel like Archie Gray is better at right back. Well, maybe. I really don't see another player coming in. Maybe a bomber, though. Yeah, I'm hoping. I think we'll sign more players. I do. AW shows are way too long. Only so many super kicks and moonsaults you can handle. Oh, yeah. Oh, honestly, the amount of stupid things like Darby Allin does, and I love Darby Allin, but if he made those high spots here and there, they'd be even more impressive. But like, it's like welcome. He's got a coffin match, right? He's going to do some stupid stuff, landing on coffins. You know, yeah, it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. There'll be some good matches, but I'll be asleep halfway through, no doubt. I might. Do you know what? I don't know if you guys are keen on this. I was going to do a slight vlog sort of thing for it. And I'll do it on the second channel so I can ignore the thumbs up. I'll do it on the second channel, sort of the day as such. I'll do a vlog and I'll put it on the second channel. I'll do that. We desperately need cover for a doggy and Van Event. Yeah, we do. I'm not expecting anything amazing, but hope he can build up a little bit of confidence. Yeah, agreed. No, I don't. Donna, do you know how many foreign spaces are now freed up? Well, nothing's really changed because we haven't actually moved off of anyone. I feel like Archie is better playing at right back compared to CM. Well, we'll see on that, Rohan. We shall see. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. I do very much appreciate it. I need to go and tend to my dog and give him a walk. So I'll be back a little bit later this evening to talk more Spurs. For the meantime, though, enjoy the rest of your afternoons. Enjoy yourselves. Look after yourselves. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Peace.